Right here on WSKB 89.5.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
You know the mic was open?
That's okay. I didn't say anything bad. I just said people do watch because I was in a drugstore and somebody said to me, "Hey, Kathy, how come you weren't on the TV yesterday?" So see, people do watch.
I've been telling you guys that for a long time.
They do. And it was somebody, I don't know that well. They weren't watching because it was me or you.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. They do watch. Hi! I'm back.
I want to know how that thought just popped into your head. Oh, by the way, people do watch.
Squirrel, shiny things, sprinkles.
Were you trying to make me feel better for some reason that I don't know about yet?
I'm always...
You're fired.
Trying to start on a positive note. On a good note, on a high note.
You know what?
I see.
That's when bad things happen. You know, the employer comes in and goes,
What?
the employer will come in and go, okay, you know, I want to tell you that I've really appreciated how you handled that job this past week.
And
or
you're fired.
but
But we don't need you anymore.
hey, Kenny, I really like that shirt on you.
But honestly, we did have this very
Bob has that process.
Quality.
we had this
Yeah.
very elderly teacher when I started teaching. I at one point
Was
I
she using a
young.
stone
And
tablet?
she would say to us,
Ooh.
yeah, just about. She would say to us, "Don't you look lovely for a change, my dear?"
Ouch.
Yeah. Meow. Okay. Thank you very much. You remember that joke about, I can't say it online, but my friends that are listening know.
That's
the joke.
nice.
That's nice. That's real nice.
You say that so well. That's nice.
That's nice. That's real nice.
That's like a Virginia accent. That's nice.
Nice. On my plantation.
Mm-hmm.
My Scarlet O'Hara days. Oh, well. Oh, well. So, what are we doing today? Where are we? Hi, Peter. Welcome home. I missed you. I actually missed you, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Sure.
I did. Honestly.
This
I
crap
did.
show?
No. The only good part is I did have to get up every day, but I got up later because I didn't have to be next door at Franklin Avenue until, well, really 9, so I got up later. But it was a great time. We had, my theater groups were filled. We had lots of kids. We had lots of fun. We had lots of people to watch it, so it was a good
You
time.
got on the front page of the paper.
I didn't see that. I didn't get the paper that day. That was Mark St. Ange, and I thank you, Mark, for coming in. Mark has requested that we let him know, which is always nice. Whenever anybody needs pictures, Mark would like you to let him know. So there you go.
Right.
It is. Okay, I'll stop.
See, I didn't need Mark a few weeks ago for that.
For what?
For me being on the front page.
Oh, and I know, but I got the biggest kick out of it because we were both in the same article. How fun is that? You and me. I didn't realize I was being quoted, but that's okay.
So the funniest thing just happened.
Okay.
My phone beeped, and I saw it, looked down, and I go, "You're trying to sign in." And I'm looking around. I'm like, it says Florence, Alabama.
What?
You left a login on one of the computers.
No,
down
they
there,
need
huh?
it down there.
Ah.
So I approved it, and I got a text from my guy down there, and he goes, "Thank you, sir."
Okay.
That happened down here once or twice,
There's-
and I needed to get on to something, and it's like, okay, we just sent your cell phone a text, and I knew it went to you, and I'm like, screw this, I'm just going to find another way to make it happen.
Should have just said me. Approve the sign in.
You know, it was quicker for me just to use my own login for whatever it was.
Okay. Whatever that means.
Yeah, I was able to log into the computer when I rebooted it. It was password protected, but there was one password that is stuck in my head that he uses,
Oh.
and it worked.
Oh. Okay. So you know his passwords? Oh, we're going to
I know one of like 35 that he has. And even he can't keep track of all of them because I'll see him type one in. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not. Oh, I've been locked out for 30 minutes.
That's only happened once.
It happens to me more often than not.
I have to keep a spreadsheet.
Well,
Well, I have written notes. So if I'm at my desktop at home, I have all that information. But if I'm on my tablet
Yeah,
or
it's on
phone,
my- it's on
forget
my phone.
about it.
It's on my phone, and I love the directive from the city because the city, of course, as you know, on our email, it has to be what, Peter, 18 characters or something outrageous, and it should
Basically
be
a passphrase.
It's got to be random, and it's got to be a phrase that doesn't mean anything to anybody, and it's got to have numbers, and it's got to have characters, and it's got to have random capitals, and it's got to have all this, and don't write it down. Don't write it down. I would be in serious trouble if I had to put that in my little aged brain. So,
Why didn't you get the notice? I couldn't get into my email. I only had my phone with me. Sorry.
oops. Oh, well, and then we have to take all these tests. Do you have to take those tests? those online tests, Peter?
Oh, yeah.
I hate those things. But I do them.
I could write. I found an error in one in those things twice.
Did you?
Yeah,
What was the error? Do you remember?
don't remember. It was one thing. Okay, it could have been this answer. It could have been that, or it could have been.
Yeah, those are kind of sketchy.
Technically, it could have
sometimes.
been both, but they would only accept one.
Right. Those are sketchy. I've had that happen too, and I've said, well, I'm pretty sure that's what you just
Yeah,
told me.
down the other municipality I work at. You know, I show the IT guy. Look, Westfield just giving me the same tests. He was like, okay, well, I want to sign them to you
Well, they've
because you're taking them anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to make you waste your time. And he knows I do my own IT in the department down there. So it's like you could probably write one of these tests on your own.
yourself.
Yeah, probably. So I only have to do them once.
okay.
Yeah.
They keep popping up.
Yeah, I usually
As
put
soon
them
as
off
I'm
until I'm
done.
on an airplane.
It's like
And when I'm
laundry.
sitting there, I'll just take my tablet and knock it out in 10 minutes.
I have a stupid question about airplanes. This is really dumb, so please remember I don't fly.
Okay, so airplanes fly. It works off a principle called lift.
I remember learning that in Mr. Pierce's 7th grade science class. That much I do remember. Do they have recharging on airplanes for cell phones?
They did on my 737 Max.
Yeah, that was a retrofit on yours.
No, it was a Max 8.
Yeah, they're not. Only about 10% of the Max 8s have that right now because they're still retrofitting. But
I had a USB-C plug.
you had
in. It was
a
great.
USB-C right in the back of the seat now on some of the aircraft with Southwest.
We're flying United, and it's a long.
I can tell you, Delta has 110 on the back of their seats.
We're flying United.
Well, there's this thing called a cell phone, a thing called Google. All right?
You sound like me to my husband.
Does United
Google.
Airlines have power on their seats? Yes, some United Airlines seats have power. Some. The newer United fleet offers in-seat power, Bluetooth, and built-in screens. Some seats also have 3 types of charging docks: wireless, AC, and USB-C.
Okay. Good to know.
So
Good to know.
that means you would have to have a USB-C to USB-C cable, because I'm pretty sure you have a USB-A to USB-C.
I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure that's what you have.
Okay, that would.
That wouldn't plug it. But if you brought the whole thing that you use at your house,
Yeah.
that would be 110, and you'd be able to plug into that.
Okay.
I have a little
And
portable one.
Well, I had to
Yeah.
get a converter too because New Zealand has different wiring, so I had to get a converter so that I can plug into their outlets. So we'll see what
They're
happens.
round with 220, aren't they?
Keep it up, Ken. Keep it up. Just keep it up.
What do New Zealand power outlets look like? Let's see if I'm
This is scintillating radio.
3 flat pins in a triangular pack. Oh, I think that might be 110. So all you would need is a plug in. Oh,
I don't know.
it is 220.
I ordered the plug. I got
Yeah.
it. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
A lot of transformers and wall warts and bricks, like that thing for the laptop and your cell phone thing, they'll run both on 110 and 220.
Okay.
If you wanna get
I
technical-
do know what 120, 110 and 220.
If you want to get technical, 117 and 234.
I do not want to get technical. Mm-hmm. I have enough trouble plugging into my wall.
Yeah. So when I go on my cruises, I'm taking
going on your cruise?
I'm taking a bunch of plug adapters because they have a 220 and they have a 110. So I want to be able to
Yeah.
occupy all of them.
Oh,
I bring a
have-
power strip.
They're all set. Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
Why? I never heard that.
Oh no, it's surge protector. They don't allow surge protectors.
Right.
It might backfeed on their electrical system.
When is your cruise?
January and February?
Okay.
You're doing 2 now?
I'm doing 2.
Ooh, good for you.
Yeah, Princess decided to give me a free cruise because Carnival did.
Yeah, they keep sending me stuff. Come back. We'll do this. We'll do that. Actually,
I figure if I'm only paying
I wanna tell
taxes
you
and
about
dock
Princess,
fees,
though. Guess what they did when we got back? because we had online credit that we could use. They sent me a check because we didn't use the online credit. Who does that? Holy moly.
Yeah. I'm going on their biggest, newest ship.
I know. I was talking to the Powells about that
Which
because
one
they're
is that?
huge Princess fans.
Yeah.
They actually were the one when we got off the cruise in Fort Lauderdale on the Caribbean Princess. They got on and did like 21 days or something.
Right. Yeah, right now it's in the Mediterranean and Europe, and this winter it'll be down the Caribbean.
Okay.
So,
sounds like fun. They are
yeah,
huge.
their latest, greatest
I saw
different
that online.
thoughts on it. So, yeah, they put me on that, and for taxes and the port fee.
I'll press my button. I'll press my
Yep, taxes and the port fee. And, of course, the drinky package. I'm paying for that.
You know, that was a waste of money for us because we didn't, and we bought it without thinking because it was just part of everything else. But I wouldn't do it again. It was worth it for my kids because they like to sit at the bar and they like the fancy.
Yeah, well, I'm traveling by myself, so
I love it.
And I'll do martini.
For someone who drinks any alcohol at all, period, even if it's only one a week, it's worth
Yeah, a
it.
martini is $20.
Yeah,
Maybe you
it's
can
worth
meet
it.
somebody on the cruise.
And the drinky package is like $80, so it's like 4 martinis.
you
Yeah,
do
it
know
is.
you're going on the Love Boat, so you could meet somebody.
It's not the Love Boat.
Well, Princess likes to call themselves the Love Boat.
They do.
They do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, he's right.
Technically, it was Pacific Princess.
sing
That was the
So,
Pacific Princess was the Love Boat, but
yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll hang a pineapple on my door.
Well, then you might get a lot of love.
You know, I actually have pierced ears. Maybe I should get pineapple earrings and wear them while I walk around.
Oh God.
Maybe a pineapple necklace. Pineapple ring.
You
Maybe
realize-
maybe all 3.
If Christy was watching this right now, she'd be giggling
I think I'm gonna do that.
because she didn't know what that meant.
Okay. I'm gonna get pineapple jewelry and wear it when I'm on the ship.
You are not. No.
Yes, I
It has
am.
to be upside down though.
No.
I think if you have pineapple everything for jewelry, it doesn't matter if it's going to be upside down or not. They'll figure it out.
Okay.
Moving along. What are we doing today?
There's something else. It's not just pineapples.
I thought it was pineapples.
Yeah, but there's a second one. It's not as common as a pineapple.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I've done a lot of research and reading and video watching prior to all this.
Okay, then.
Yeah, so, the end of January is Carnival and the end of February is Princess.
Well, I hope you really like it. I loved it, but it's not everybody's piece of
I
cake,
you know,
so.
I have a feeling that I'm not going to hate it, but if I'm not getting a comped room, I might not find the value in it because I like being on terra firma and really getting out and exploring. And to be honest, these ports of call, they're touristy. It's
Oh,
a
yeah,
tourist trap.
Definitely they are.
And I don't do that. Although one of the days on the Princess one, it's their own beach, which means the drinky package will work at the bar there.
Nice.
Yeah. But the other, there's San Juan. If I'm there long enough, I might get into a cab and go deeper into San Juan instead of the touristy area. It's still a heavily
you don't
English
miss the
spoken
boat.
area.
They won't wait for you. Mm-hmm. If you miss the boat, you're out of luck.
Right.
But
I'm so OCD, I'll still beat everyone back.
maybe, yeah. They always love to publicize the people who don't make it back, and sometimes it's their fault. They just assumed it would be okay to be late. but
And
it is
the
not.
the big reason for that, come to find out,
Yes.
people don't know how to adjust their damn clocks, their watches.
Oh yeah, well. They keep asking me about when
Because I don't think
how far it is to New Zealand and Ken. I don't know. I know that right
that's
now.
UTC positive. Is it UTC positive 8, maybe? Because there's 5 hours between here and there. 5, 8, 9, 10, No, it'd have to be more like UTC 16, because some parts of the year it's not 24 hours, it's 25 hours to
That's
get over
true.
there.
That's true. But I have no idea what time it is because we're flying west.
Yeah.
So not only is the hour difference, but we're going back. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll know when I get
Yeah,
there.
tomorrow is yesterday.
Yeah, I'll know when
Yeah,
I get there.
pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, and then you lose an entire day coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really
Oh yeah, I
don't
was
know.
I was looking in the Philippines for travel often, and I was noticing that. I'm like, oh wow. But
I
yeah,
had no
down
idea.
Cruising, down the Gulf, Mexico, whatever. Yeah, a lot of those places are central. It's not eastern, and
I know. It's
that extra hour can really make a difference.
My phone adjusted. We
Phones
set it
will.
to adjust when we got to Alaska because the time was different up there. I don't remember.
You're still on an American network, though. You have to remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, if you're lucky enough to catch a GMS network when you're traveling internationally, you shouldn't have a problem there.
Okay.
I had my shots yesterday.
I had a shot. I had my COVID shot, but it was the old shot. It wasn't the new one. And I
these are
had
the
my allergy
allergies,
shot yesterday. You had it yesterday?
Yes,
What
I
time?
did.
What time?
When you don't like to show up,
Oh, I was there at 1:30.
I get there first in the morning.
No.
And I'm told. So, initially, years ago, mold was part of the buildup. And 3 years ago, we're changing manufacturers on the mold. So if you want that, you're going to have to build back up again, which is 6 months every week. I'm like, nope, not going to do it. So then a year ago, close to a year ago, you know what? We're going to bump up all of your, serums. Okay, well, let's add mold at the same time. So I went through 6 or 7 months of building up every week, every other week. Just finished it 2 visits ago. The build up for the new mold.
Yeah.
Get in yesterday. We're changing mold manufacturer. I'm like, you have got to be. I just went through 8 months of build up again.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it's only going to take 6 visits because we only drop you to half, and then. But I need the mold because I noticed once I got it, I improved. The mold is one of the biggies for me.
I have mold.
So I need to get it. So if you're getting mold there, you're going to be in for a surprise next time you go.
Well, they didn't say anything yesterday, but I know every once in a while they do that. Either they've run out. One time they ran out of syrup, and because they ran out, like that's my fault, that means I have to start all over again.
Well, it starts out. It works out for me because next time I go in for my monthly, new vials, which mean you have to do 2 or 3.
Yep.
Yeah. So now it's not horrible.
I
But
just go when they tell me.
yeah.
I just show up. I don't know.
Well, I have to be careful how things like that happen because I might be away. And
True.
depending on what you're doing, you have 14 or 15 days or
It's usually 14. Yeah, you
29 or 30 days. I mean, it's yeah. But I have to do it because it makes me healthier. I notice a very big difference. What are we talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Well, I did want to mention the Historical Commission if I have a chance.
Do you have a bone to pick with everybody?
No.
No.
Informational?
No. It's just informational, Peter. Only because there's a lot of information out there about what the commission can do and what we're responsible for doing and what our responsibilities are. To
Well, why
the
can't
city
they
in
buy a
general.
building and preserve it?
Yeah, wouldn't we love that? The Historical Commission, actually, it's a city commission. We work out of City Hall. We are appointed by the mayor's office. There are 7 of us on the commission. We serve a 3-year stint. And actually, if anybody needs any information on the commission, we're not the Historical Society. There is a Western Hampden County Historical Society, and they are the ones that run the Dewey House. We are not in charge of the Dewey House. That's a totally different, they're a 501c3 separate from us. The commission's mission, you can go to the website, the Westfield Historical Commission, and with the city of Westfield, and you can read what we're supposed to do. So basically, what we are in charge of doing for the city of Westfield is identifying sites or buildings that have historical or archaeological significance to the history of Westfield. It's up to us to identify them, and it's up to us to tell the city that we feel as a commission that these sites are important to the history of Westfield. Now, how do we do that? Well, we follow the criteria that's set up by the National Registry and the Massachusetts Registry, and most of it means that, for example, if we're looking at a house, just because a house is old doesn't mean it's historical. It can be the ugliest house and be historical. It can be the most beautiful house and not be
Does
historical.
it have to have some type of significance?
It has to have some kind of architecture that sets it apart from other buildings. Perhaps the architect is famous. Perhaps the style is famous. Perhaps it's an example like the Octagon House on King Street. It's an example of a very odd or unique architecture. It has to, if that's not it, then the other criteria might be it has to be associated with an historical figure in Westfield. Someone might have lived there who had significance to the city of Westfield. Or it has to be significant like the First Congregational or the Dewey House. Those are significant to the actual history of Westfield. So once we've done that, we don't really have a say. We do have the Westfield Historical list that we have, and we have the Westfield Historical District is downtown, and that is on the National Registry. But just because it's in the district doesn't necessarily mean it's an historical building. A good example, of course, is the bank on Court Street next to the next to the Athenaeum. It's not historically significant. Or the arbors. It's not historically significant. So we do have the district. But as far as our control over buildings and what we can actually do, and I don't mean this in a facetious manner, Ken, we're not a realty company. We can't go in, if you own your home and you want to do something with your home, that's your home. We can't do anything with it. We can have a stay of demolition, and that is up to 180 days in the city of Westfield. And that means that in the interim, could you maybe or could we suggest things that could be done that would maintain the historic nature of your building? If you decide no, you decide no, and the building's gone. We don't have a say. I think where people sort of get a little confused is when you get on the National Register.
Exactly.
They have their own rules, they have their own laws, they have their own things. So honestly, we don't have a lot that we can really say or do. Yes, we do advise the city. Yes, we do go in and say to whoever owns it, we think this is a historical building. We think items should be saved. And we would try to do that. We also heard, well, they're only paying attention to the Wyben Schoolhouse and the old burying grounds. Well, yes, because those belong to the city. We're charged with overseeing those. So we do have a vested interest in them. But it's interesting what people think we can do. I want to also remind them, we don't have that kind of a budget. We don't have an operating budget. We can't go in and buy a property. And I would venture to say, and I know this is going to cause dissension out there, folks. Please don't hit me with the rotten tomatoes. We can't buy buildings for millions of dollars, particularly buildings that are going to require a tremendous amount of upkeep. There are reasons why homes are torn down. If we didn't demolish homes, we would still be living with the Bancroft house where Tribeca is. There was a house there. John Bancroft lived there. John Bancroft Sr., not the second one. But that's where their house was. That's where the Deweys lived. That was where they were living there, building their houses. So if we didn't ever demolish anything,
Right in the center of town?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
That
yes.
that was not downtown back then.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
Downtown was closer to the river by where the old Ford Way is.
Downtown was originally Main Street, and then the houses moved into the Elm Street. Franklin Street didn't exist. I think it went to the river but stopped there. And I would have to look at the maps, Peter. But that was the section, the corridor between Silver Street, Union Street, Meadow Street.
Because it's like the Boston Post Road.
Yes, that's where the downtown's basic. Well, the road didn't go anywhere then. The road that went to Windsor came down Springdale Road over the bluff there, and it went up by Little River. Then that was called the Old Windsor Road, and that was the road to Hartford, to the Hartford-Windsor area. A lot of the citizens of Westfield came up from Windsor, but I digress. Sometimes buildings are torn down. A building that comes to my mind is the Mosley Estate that was on the corner in your neighborhood in Meadow Street and Court Street, and that was the house of David Mosley, and it had housed like 4 generations.
Meadow and Court.
I mean Meadow in Maine. Sorry, thank you.
Oh, okay,
Meadow
that
in
house.
Maine,
Yes.
Where the
Yeah, there's condos there now.
Yes.
Yeah.
The David Mosley Estate was there. Beautiful.
I remember that
beautiful
house.
Home.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. But by the time it was demolished, it was in such sad shape.
Mm-hmm.
It would have cost millions to redo it.
Mm-hmm.
It had been turned into apartments. There was nothing that could be done with it.
Right.
And it was sad. It's sad it went. The other Mosley house that went was on where Elm Electric is on Union Street.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yes,
house,
I remember that house.
that
too.
was dismantled. And a man bought it.
And
he
it was
rebuilt
moved.
and it's gorgeous. And unfortunately, in my pre-Ken days, because now I would know better, it was on my old laptop, and that picture is gone. But I had pictures of how that house is. So some of the buildings we can't fix, we can't save. And that it just happens. Some would just incur such a huge amount of money to redo them and bring them up to specs. I mean, it was hundreds of thousands of dollars just to put a lift in on the Women's Club building. So,
Oh, yeah.
and that's not even redoing it to make it totally handicap accessible. That's our stage 2. But imagine taking these older homes and trying to make them totally handicap accessible. It can't be done. But if
It's not just handicap accessible, but code in general. Plumbing, HVAC, and electrical.
the wiring is outrageous on some of these buildings. It's just
When I took over my house, there was still knob and tube running in it that I had to take out.
I
But
remember those.
what sparked this conversation is the Atwater Mansion, which we're going to be talking about next week.
Yeah, and I don't want to get too far into
But
that.
that house is knob and tube. And there are panels in various rooms. There's sub-panels. They were onto something back then. They had sub-panels, but it's knob and tube. And you open it up and you go, oh, yep, there's fuses. Yeah, so you're looking at $500,000 probably to completely redo just the electric.
I can't imagine what the wiring would be in that building. And you're talking about ramps. You're talking about exits.
If it's going to be a public
entrances.
building.
Yes, and with the new laws, every area that is accessible has to be made handicap accessible.
Although there is an elevator in there.
But it's too small. You can't fit a chair in there.
Yeah, it is a little narrow. It's deep.
tiny.
It's deep, but it's not wide.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tiny. And
I can fit in it.
there are certain widths. So, as much as we would love to say, and we would, I would pick an older home any day. If I could make my choice of where I would want to live, I would pick an older home.
How many have you renovated?
Yeah, well, I've
I've renovated one from 1890 and one from 1918. I'm done. I'm done with it.
But if people have questions, I will mention that we have the Westfield Historical Commission has meetings on the fourth Monday of every month. We did not have a meeting in July, but we will have one in August. I will be back from New Zealand. It's at 6 o'clock in room 210 on the second floor. And we do have public participation before the meeting. Each speaker gets maybe, I think it's 3 minutes. So if you have questions or you have concerns or there's things you want to say, we would love to hear it. We also have email addresses. So if they came in on the Westfield Historical Society Commission site, shoot us an email and we will try to answer you as quickly as we possibly can. But it's just, there are homes we would love to save. We would love to have seen it happen. It didn't. The building was for sale for what did we say, Peter, 15 years?
Oh, yeah, easily.
We were not the buyer. We were not the seller. We had no
There's
say.
some greed involved there too with the asking price.
That I'm not in.
What I was told over the years is that the diocese wanted too much money for it, and because there's several people had looked at it, several people had really good reuses for it over the years, and it was always just too much money. That's what I was told.
Yeah. The good side is people were concerned about the beautiful fireplaces, and there is one of the fireplaces has a wood carving of the Mayflower, and that is because the Atwaters came over on the Mayflower. That is why that's there.
I know I caught that on film, but I don't recall seeing it because I got everything.
It's
down.
the second room on the left. No, first room on the left, I think.
First room on the left.
Yeah, on the left where the tables were.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's against the inside wall.
Okay, I didn't get a very
You
good
have-
shot of that because the tables were in
It's,
there.
it's just absolutely beautiful. And even the fireplaces up on the second floor, which would be the bedrooms, were lovely.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
all
The inlaid tile on them,
Yeah.
and there's a beautiful tile.
there. I have been told, and they can tell you better, the people involved in the sale. I am not involved. That there is a company interested in reclaiming the marble.
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard from a store company up in New Hampshire or Vermont that is also interested in some of these structures. So I'm assuming that the city will investigate.
Oh,
these
save that
companies.
that handrail on the staircase.
But what would you do with it, Ken? It's beautiful, but again, people say
That
save
is,
it. What?
Where could you retrofit that?
And where are you going to store it?
Mm.
Where's it going to go?
Yeah.
City Hall doesn't have any more space. I mean, we're stuffed to the gills.
Mm-hmm.
So even things that when
It'd have to be a situation where it's just in storage where a GC knows about it, and we can integrate that into this build.
it's
And it happens a lot on the West Coast. People salvage doors from buildings, and they'll go to a warehouse. Do you have 4 of these?
American Pickers does that. They pick
Yeah.
out a door that I would throw away, and they sell it. People buy it.
Yeah.
So it's a little disconcerting with some of the comments. And again, I don't want to get into any dissension, but if people have suggestions, we need to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll save this, but tell me who wants it.
All right. See why I put that button there now?
I use my button.
It's been there a year. It's
You've
been there a year, and you're
I
finally
know,
using it now.
And you've been pushing my buttons for how many years? So
Ooh.
there's my pontification about the Historical Commission. We do welcome all kinds of comments, and we will try to field them. We will try to answer them. And yes, we would love to save everything if we could. But honestly, I don't know how we can. And if you can think of ways that we can do it, please let us know. Uh-oh, he's looking for things in his bag, Peter.
I didn't pack any Dear Abby.
Every time I read it now, I think of something and think, now there's one for Ken.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good one for Ken. It's interesting, though, when you look at the houses and the history of Westfield and the beautiful houses. I noticed when you go down Pleasant Street and the Pearl Street and Noble. Is that Noble Street or Noble Avenue that's in that neighborhood?
Near what?
Across from the Y.
I think that's
Across from the
Ave.
Y?
I think that's Avenue.
Noble Avenue. Anyway, there's some absolutely
Oh, not the big Y, the YMCA. Yeah, Avenue.
Y.
Yeah, Avenue.
There's just some absolutely gorgeous houses out there on those streets. When you want to think about old homes, there's some beautiful homes in that area.
And what I think of is I think of the clogged up, failing cast iron piping that's inside there.
Could be. That piping was put in the 1800s, and that's when everything went under. And there's a stream that flows through there. So I don't know how dry their basements are, because there is a stream that flows from the base of Noble Hospital Hill, and it goes right through. There was a pond on Pearl Street that kids used to skate on in the winter. Put that one in your pipe and smoke it.
Whoa.
So that's a pretty wet area, but there's some gorgeous homes in Westfield. And if people want to know more about the houses that are now gone, one of the beautiful homes in Westfield was the Thayer Mansion, and that's where the big Y is on the end of South Broad Street, because Broad Street was supposed to be the original
That was supposed to
corridor.
be the entry to Westfield, wasn't
We
it?
thought that was going to be the corridor.
That's
coming
why the
in.
statue was looking that direction.
Absolutely, you are correct. We
Yeah.
thought, and if you look at Broad Street and the houses there, that's what Elm Street used to be, with the houses on it. And they're all gone, and then the whip factories came in, blah, 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 blah. But the Theater Mansion was so large that they had what we call the quarter millennium, the 250 anniversary of Westfield. It was in their house. That's how large it was.
Do
It
you
was
remember
huge.
that?
No, I do remember the 300, but I don't
That's
remember
really
the
rude.
250. But we're used to it. We're used to it. It just rolls over me now, Peter.
I don't remember the 300th, but I remember the centennial. I was just old enough for 1776.
Well, that's coming up again. We've got the 250. Is it 250, 225, 225? 250 coming up next year that we have to start thinking about for the American Revolution, which didn't really touch us. But with the homes, if they want to know more and they want to see some of the mansions that are now gone that were in Westfield, Bob Brown, Dr. Brown, has a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful video. It's probably on the Westfield Athenaeum sites, and I think it's Lost Homes of Westfield. It's not hard to find. They can find it. So what's next on your agenda? What do you got for me? What do you got? Hit me with it gently. Gently.
Sticking with history.
Yes. Yes. History of Westfield is always interesting. We are coming up to celebrating the beginning of the American Revolution, and it's kind of interesting.
Okay, yeah, this is a whole nother thing coming
Yeah,
up.
Westfield wasn't really that gung-ho about it. We had a third of the people that were siding with the British. We had a third of the people that were siding with the Patriots. And then we had a third of the people that just honestly didn't care. They were going about their daily routine, and that was it.
And are we talking about going back to Tories and
Wigs.
Yeah.
Tories and the Whigs.
Yeah,
Yes, the
okay,
Tories.
yeah.
The Tory sympathizer. I had in my neighborhood, I had
Yeah,
Captain
Puritans.
John Bancroft. He was a Tory sympathizer. He was accused of harboring, I believe it was a British officer by the name of MacDonald, and supposedly he was passing secrets to him. So he was confined to his home on Pachasik Road. That home is still standing. It was built in maybe 1750s. Neighborhood lore has it that my farmhouse that I own was built before that house, and that is where Bancroft lived before he built his stone house. Whether that's true? No, I wasn't living there at the time, before you even asked.
So you didn't lay down the stonework yourself?
I didn't put down them stones by myself. No, sir, I did not.
Do you remember when Fally was your neighbor?
What?
Didn't he? Wasn't there?
Oh, Fally. Oh, Fally. Yes. Oh, he had the house.
That's
up
your
on-
neighborhood, isn't it?
It was my neighborhood. It was up on Toccoa Mountain. He lived at the base of the mountain. And when they talk, I have to clarify this, folks. I'm sorry, but this gets into my brain. When they talk, everything says, and the British didn't like it, and the British couldn't find it. The British didn't come here looking for it. They weren't here. There's no evidence that the British came looking. They didn't. They wouldn't have liked it because the British at that time didn't want any small ventures being done by the colonies because it meant they weren't getting the money. So anyone that started their own shops, their own manufacturing, their own glassware, they didn't like it. But it wasn't, they weren't hunting through the hills of Toccoa Mountain looking for Richard Fally. When I did some research, I found that there were over 200 of these little gun factories going on. So I highly doubt they really cared.
If there were that many gun factories, how come Springfield and Fally are the only ones we really hear about?
Because it's local, because it's important to our history. And honestly, there's also no history behind Richard Fally ever being an armorer over at Springfield Armory. They did order rifles from him, and that was later on. That was close to almost the 1800s, I believe, when they ordered a large catch of rifles for Richard Fally to manufacture. But every once in a while, you'll see it said that he was like the chief supervisor in the Springfield Armory. There's no history to prove that. We can't find that anywhere. So who knows? But with Westfield, who knows? We got the Lexington alarm probably on April 20th. By then, we got the word that they were marching on Concord and Lexington. And some references say 30 people went.
So
Some say 50 went. Some say 70 went. It's the same names that you always see. You see the Deweys, you see the Nobles, you see the Bancrofts, you see the Shepherds going off to Lexington.
how was that alarm sent, and how long did it take for us to get it?
That's very interesting. Again, there's no history in that. There is some history of a writer coming up through Windsor, and they think he probably hit here by the 20th, but we don't have that written down, so who knows? But supposedly, writers went out, and by the next day, the word had spread through New England, and we started down to support them. But then, it wasn't like you're signing up in the Army. They were militiamen. They were the Minutemen. They went down, they fought a battle, they came home. Some men signed up for 3 months. Some men went back and signed up again. Some men signed up for the whole war. We did eventually have conscription, but if you were conscripted, I could pay you, which was really interesting, because if I wasn't sure what side of the war I wanted to be on, because if the English win, and I've been fighting against them, I might lose my whole property. So maybe I don't want to do that. So I can pay you to go in my place to serve in the Army. So if the British win, I didn't fight in the war. Not my fault. I didn't do it.
How cheesy.
Yeah, and that did happen if they didn't want to go. But Westfield was able to meet
Would that be
their
that
quota.
wouldn't quite be the same as a draft dodger, would it? Because you're not, if you're dodging, you're not replacing yourself with another body.
No, and they did. It seems to me that they executed one young man who did go AWOL. His grave is in one of the sections that's petitioned by the wrought iron fencing, and I forget his name, and I'll have to check on that. Cindy would know. He was in one of our ghost tours, and he was a young man, and he got into the fight, and it scared the devil out of him, and he ran off, but he got recaptured, and he was executed. And the sad part is that I believe it was Washington did give him a pardon, but it arrived after they'd done it. and he was a Westfield boy. So that was kind of a sad story. So, yeah, if you ran away, you did, and you got caught, good luck to you. But we had quotas we had to meet. It's hard to find information about Westfield during the Revolution because Reverend Ballantyne was very good about keeping records from the First Congregational Church, but he passed away, I believe, in 1775 before it really got started. So there wasn't a lot recorded, and some of the town records are missing. So we don't know. But that'll be coming up next year. We'll be starting. So again, if anyone has suggestions, things they want to see us do, they always say General Knox. We're on the Knox Trail, but we didn't do it. So whatever's going to happen with that, we'll see.
Are we doing ghost tours again this fall?
Yes, we are going to do the ghost
Have we
tours.
decided where we're doing them?
We are doing them again in the old burying grounds. We have coordinated with Jay Pagluka. Jay is the main pin. We have to do everything around our friend Jay.
Yeah.
So
Did we land on a date yet?
he
Because,
did. I want to say it's. Oh boy.
You know, I'll just ask him because I work.
Yeah, I can't give you a date.
I work with him, and I know I'm going to get pulled in on this. And
Yeah, I ask him because I'm not exactly sure. I believe it's a date in September. The other date we had was very late in October, and as you know,
and you know, it's on the week. It's on the weekend, usually. So.
It's a Friday and a Saturday.
Oh, perfect! Because if it's that 1 week in September that I'm going to be away, I'm away Sunday through Thursday, so I'll still be able to.
Okay.
That'll work out swimmingly.
Yep. We had talked about it, as you know, last year we did it in the church. And there's good and bad about both. There's positives. I would say the attendance is probably comparable to both events because I think in the church people could sit down and enjoy it and relax. It was also much more accessible. There are some people uncomfortable. It is sketchy walking around in the cemetery at night. But then again, in the cemetery, people just love the atmosphere
Right.
of being in the cemetery.
And you
It's a
know,
little
we
bit
we
more-
can get a little more creative with lighting and effects there
yeah,
too.
and it's a little more theatrical
Yeah.
than in the church, but the church is comfortable, it's heated, it's cool, it allows more seating, it does allow more people at one time. So we had some plus and minuses in both places. We've decided to alternate. 1 year do inside, the next year do outside.
That's a good happy medium.
And we'll see how it plays. You don't know until you try. You really don't know until you try. So we'll work on that.
All right.
So again, suggestions, folks, please go online to the Westfield Historical Commission.
How do they find that online?
All they need to do is just Google Westfield Historical Commission or go to the City of Westfield website, and
right.
it will.
And be
bring-
careful you're not looking at Westfield, New Jersey.
That is true. Yeah, that happens. That happens. So you want to make sure you're looking at Westfield, Mass. Absolutely, good point. They pop up a lot.
It's happened to me.
And also remember that on the fourth Monday of every month, we do have meetings. You are welcome to come and attend. The public is always invited and very welcomed. And you are welcome to do the public speaking in the beginning or get in touch with us online.
Wow, wasn't that an hour that just got sucked away that you're never going to
It's
get
gone.
back?
How did that happen?
What the hell did we talk about?
We talked about a lot.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
All right. Well, you know what? We're going to continue talking about a lot on the other side of the hour because
Okay.
I have folks from Tribeca in here.
And it's nice to be back, Ken. But I won't be here for the next 2 weeks again.
I've got plans already.
Okay.
Jay's replacing you for, you know, not only that, but he's replacing you for making the list.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I've already got it in the works. It's done. It's happening.
Okay. It's okay. I don't mind.
I still haven't come up with a topic.
Oh, that's
though.
right. It was you. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and I think Stefan's
gonna
still
miss you.
pissed at me because he hasn't talked to me this summer. Because I beat him by half a point. And he thinks I did the math in my head. Come on. I'm a Vokey. I can't do that. I can't do that.
He does it too. He sits there and writes it all down.
I can't do that type of math in my head. Can I, Pete?
I don't.
I'm not
I don't
smart.
bother.
Huh.
I don't bother. I don't do it in my head. I always like Peter's pick. I usually like Zap's. Bob's, I'm never too certain of. Yours, I never know what you're coming up with.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to miss that. We'll think of you.
And I won't even be around where I can hear it. Well, I'll get it when I come back.
There's internet over there.
Yeah, but I'll be busy. I'm going to Hobbiton. I'm so excited. I'm going to go to Hobbiton. Maybe they'll think I'm one of them. Well, they'll check
Will you
my
bring me
feet.
back a fruit? No, you can't do that. Yeah.
No.
No, customs doesn't allow you to do that.
You can't bring back any
No.
food. You can't bring. You can bring in food that's packaged professionally and not opened. You can bring in medications that are in the prescription bottle. They're really fussy.
Mm-hmm.
They're very fussy about what you bring into New Zealand.
Look at this. 9 o'clock.
And we have gentlemen waiting.
Yes, we're going to figure out what we're going to do for microphones. And on the other side, folks from Tribeca.
All righty. Sounds good.
Burn down the store, take what you want and more. Shop until you drop, voodoo consumer never stop. Load up on supplies, no sale, no compromise. Gun crazy down the mall, voodoo consumer take it all. Eat this, drink this, try this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. 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 Drive me to the bank, kneel down and give me thanks. Grab your credit card, voodoo consumer, kiss me hard. Eat this, drink this, try this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously cool. Let's make it fabulous. Too late, voodoo consumer terminate. Eat this, drink this, try this, buy this, wear this, fly this, play this, charge it, it's fabulous. Step right up and take it, it's fabulous. If you can't afford it, fake it. Be deviously dangerous, ridiculously marvelous, meticulously treacherous, disarduously cruel. Just make it fabulous. 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 Fabulous.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join us every Thursday morning
From 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show.
Right here on WSKB 89.5.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
9:04 and a half here on the 6th day of August in the year 2024. Anno Domini. Yeah, this is the Ken's Den. I added a few microphones to the works in here and made some rooms. Are you up on your microphone?
I don't think I am.
No, you're not. No, I'm not hearing you either.
Yeah.
That would make my husband very happy.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what? You came unplugged. Talk amongst yourselves.
This is technical difficulties.
That's what happens when
to
you're.
your plug?
That's what happens when you're chit chatting and don't actually check on the gear.
You know what? I didn't plug it in the first place.
Oh, that would be helpful.
You know.
And I'm a professional.
Click.
You know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Yeah. Testes. 1, 2,
1, 2.
3.
All right.
right.
Houston.
We got a problem. All right. So this is the Ken's Den. I got folks from Tribeca in here. One of them for the second time.
Second appearance.
Back
Do
then
I
we were
get a
like,
check?
okay, we might open in March. Okay, maybe April. Oh, maybe May.
All right.
Oh, maybe
When is
midsummer.
that building opening? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I think maybe we were going to open last year.
We were. We were scheduled to open September, then October.
Mm-hmm.
18 months from lease to launch.
Right.
Long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Tony Long, you're one of the. What do we want to call you for this venture?
I'm one of the partners.
One of the partners.
Operating partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And my executive team, my executive mixologist, Karl, my executive chef, Patrice, and our executive sous chef, James.
Right. And Karl, I've already met.
Yeah, we
nice seeing you again.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, I'll be seeing you on the 19th.
Okay.
I'm one of those lucky ones, Peter, who got a text from, he decided to walk away. He's not down at the bottom anymore.
I don't blame him. It's going to be a boring hour.
He's just trying to bust my chops, that's all.
Hey, Pete can come. He can be my +1, right?
Sure.
All right. See that?
Absolutely.
Told you, Pete. No problem.
Kathy, are you joining us on the 19th as well?
I will be in New Zealand.
Wow. Jeez. I mean,
Otherwise, I would love to.
I think that trumps the Tribeca in this case.
it's all right.
I don't think I can commute. Nothing.
You know what? We'll just hold off another week until you get back. What's another week?
Don't say that.
No.
Don't say that.
These guys aren't laughing about that at all.
I know
Don't even.
because Patrice, you came on months ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you just a little closer to the microphone.
Basically, last summer, the end of last summer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I must have not been here.
We the three of them have been with us for a long time. They, we made commitments based upon and without getting into too much of the minutia of what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
We had an issue with our contractor in the delays. But it doesn't matter. The restaurant's done, and we're ready to open. I do want to make one point while we're talking about this before we move on. That I have heard some rumblings that many of our delays, or some, were caused by city officials, and I want to unequivocally publicly state that every single department that our restaurant dealt with to get us open did everything possible within their realm to assist us and to get us to the point of opening. Not a single delay was caused by anybody in any city department.
Good to hear.
Yeah. Westfield is open for business. That's clear from the interactions we've had.
Great.
And we can't wait for next week to get our doors open.
Great. Speaking of business, let's talk about yours. Now, quickly, we had just mentioned the 19th. That's not an open to the public day. I don't want people to hear the 19th and all of a sudden, oh my God, let's get. So you're doing a soft opening for one.
So we have a series of events that are taking place for our launch. We're starting with our training. Our staff training starts next week. Part of that staff training is actually a mock service where we're inviting, like my father and, things like that, our friends and immediate family to come in and just give the whole system a little test and operate. The 19th and 20th are our VIP evenings. And some people criticized us for advertising this as though it was kind of bougie, and that wasn't the point. Point was we know that once we open the doors, the public is going to see us open and want to come in. And we just want people to know that those 2 nights are reserved for people who took this journey with us. Our vendors, folks like you, city officials, everybody who had a hand in helping us get open. It's just our way of saying thank you to those folks on those 2 nights. Then we'll have 8 days of a soft opening. A soft opening is really designed as like a live, active training session. So what it's designed to do is, again, put the whole system through a test without flooding it and crashing it. So
if you go, expect maybe a hiccup here and there.
Sure. People that normally attend a soft opening know that we're not yet at perfection, which is why we're doing that. Maybe we forgot to get a sugar packet. I'm just saying that because we were talking about sugar yesterday. But it's our opportunity to see if we missed anything, find out where our weaknesses are, if there are any, and improve on them, and do it without flooding the system. So we do it at 50% max capacity, and there's no reservations. And then August 30th is our big pomp and circumstance, the whole 9 yards, ribbon cutting. Stanley Starfire from the Starfires will be there.
Send me the deets on that because I wouldn't mind coming down with my camera for that.
Oh, no, you're absolutely going to be there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then also on the 15th, and this is a new addition, on the 15th we're doing a press day at 3 o'clock.
Send me the deets on that, too.
And that's designed for folks to come in from the press, take pictures of all the food that'll be presented, the cocktail program will be presented, the restaurant will all be set, and they can take pictures and do interviews and things like that. So
all right, good. Because once your crew comes through, I do want to get in there and do a walkthrough. So we already have the before walkthrough that we filmed. We need to do an after.
Yeah, it's going to look very different.
Yeah, and I'd like to get the look there without the crowd of people so that we can actually see all the efforts that went into everything.
You got a little sneak peek one of the nights of the concerts we were down there.
Yes, I wasn't expecting that. I'm walking back to the Thomas Street lot from the concert downtown, and Tony's sitting in the window. So I just knock on the door and wave, and 30 seconds later, my phone is blowing up. Come on in. And between the time I walked through with the camera and that time, you guys did do a lot of work. A lot has gone on in there.
I'm going to brag. It's a beautiful restaurant.
It's nice.
It really is. It came out better than I think any of us had expected. And I know we spoke about this once before, that, everybody has a different wheelhouse. And there's one partner specifically who was really in charge of construction and the design. And he did work with an interior designer as well a little bit. But I know I'm going to be proud to walk in there every day and represent Tribeca. And I believe the community is going to love what we've done to such a beautiful building. And the building did give us a little bit of a,
It's an old building. It wasn't in code.
No, nothing was. But it's there now. And like I said before, the building stood for 168 years, and because of what's been done, it should be there for another 168 years.
Right. Before we talk with your crew here, for folks who haven't tuned in or haven't been following, what is Tribeca? Now you call it a gastro bar and grill in your title, but what makes it the same? What makes it different from other places? What between the food, the offerings, the experience that you're trying to pull off here?
Jimmy?
He said he was going to do that. Hit me with the hard ball.
I'm happy to take that question.
I knew it was a softball for Tony.
A gastro bar, by simple definition, serves gourmet comfort food. We've taken that basic concept and we've elevated it. We believe from sidewalk to service, from the time you walk in, the atmosphere, the presentation of our plates, which is all quality charcuterie boards and and I know we're going to talk about the menu, but tapas. So a restaurant, a bar is really, and it's amazing the feedback that we get. How many people are so interested in a restaurant opening, but it's because in their beginning they're really a place where the community comes together, and we wanted to bring that type of environment where it's a place that you can come and spend time. Like you're gonna want to sit there and have a cocktail or a mocktail, have an appetizer, socialize, have another tapa. It's we didn't want there's too many places I think that have like time limits on seating right now, and I know that happened during COVID and it was necessary. We want you to come and stay. Meet your neighbors, hang out with your friends, and make it the new community spot. So what have we done? We've taken that basic concept of a gastro bar, which really hasn't been done properly in this market. Some people say somebody tried, but there really hasn't been a gastro bar, and just elevated it. So the atmosphere, the presentation, the service.
So one of the big sections on your menu here, and you've already mentioned, is tapas. Now, a lot of folks, when they hear tapas, they're thinking Mexican or Spanish.
Yeah, that's a limited definition of it.
Right.
But it's
that's what comes into mind with a lot of folks. This definitely isn't a Spanish menu I'm looking at here.
No. It's a very eclectic menu. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
You want to talk about it?
We're gonna get into that menu.
You guys can't
soon.
just sit here and be pretty, okay?
No, I want to do a little teasing here. Get some salivation. The salivation will happen in a little while, but I want to start over. At the end with Karl. You are the executive mixologist at Tribeca.
That is true.
How long have you been doing this, and how did you get into mixology?
So funny thing, I've only been bartending for 3.5 years.
Yeah, a little closer to my Karl.
Sorry. So funny thing is, I've only been bartending for 3.5 years. I was pretty lucky at my last job that someone kind of took me under their wing and taught me everything they know. And then I kind of took that and put my own twist on it. And I got really into it. And when I get passionate about something, I just want to be the best at it. So I kind of just put in the time. I learned a lot from books, Instagram videos, and other bartenders, and kind of build my own thing.
All right, so you have some what do I want to call it? Specialty drinks, house drinks,
shaken and stirred.
Yeah, are these? Oh, okay. That's the section on the menu that you call your house specialties, shaken and stirred. Are these drinks that you've stumbled across and you're highlighting here, or did you actually create any of these?
It's a mixture of both. Obviously, everyone knows what an old fashioned is. Everyone knows what a margarita is. But I kind of put my own twist on them, switch out the recipes. Now, some of them are things that I have been inspired by, like the Cornceros concoction. I actually got inspired by that one from the last interview you did with Tony.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So if you remember when we were talking about the drink program, I made a statement that even a rum and Coke won't just be a rum and Coke. It'll be something special.
Right. Okay, yes.
Karl saw that interview and he goes, oh, no, now I have to make a special rum and Coke.
Yep.
And that's where that drink came from.
So I see that as being a Plantaray rum blend.
Yes.
What's that?
So Plantaray is just a rum brand from Trinidad, I believe. They make all types of different rums.
So when it's a blend, is it a mix of dark and light?
Dark rum, pineapple rum, and a little bit of spice rum.
Wow. Right. That has Captain Morgan beat.
A little bit, yeah.
And on top of that, cherry bitters.
Yes.
And check this out. Yeah. Coca-Cola foam.
He said fancy rum and Coke, so I gave him a fancy rum and Coke.
But it's that type of attention to detail across the board on the drink program, the food program. The juices, he's making all the juices in-house. The garnishes are dehydrated fruits and I don't know, say some other things. What else you got back there? You got the smoke box.
Yeah, when I was down that night, I remember seeing you just starting to play with the smoker you have now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have 2 smoked drinks on the menu. We have the 1868, which was named after the year the building was built, right? And then we also have like a shared cocktail, the Remember the Maine, which that one's a classic cocktail that was like named after a ship that sunk in the Spanish War. So I did that. I put it in a decanter, and I smoked the decanter, and I top it off. So now it serves like up to 4 people, but 2 people could split it. So both those drinks are gonna be smoked.
Wow.
Yeah.
I see you nodding in approval there, Kathy.
Well, I don't drink, but it sounds wonderful.
Oh, we have something for you too.
Oh, okay.
You have a couple
for those who, mocktails.
Yeah. So our mocktail program is, I think, will be a little bit more unique, because I go through phases where I don't feel like drinking this much. So when I go out to drink, I'm gonna drink. When I go out to dinner, I'll order a mocktail. But they're usually like boring, or they're just syrupy, or they're not sweet. So my understanding is
you want more than just a Shirley Temple.
you want more than just Shirley Temple, right?
Right.
Like, people that go out but don't drink want the same experience. So our mocktail program is gonna be all house-made syrups, seltzers, ginger beer, all mixed in together, and you're gonna also have cool garnishes too. Like one of them has like orange blossom spritz at the table, so you get the essence of orange blossom.
So you're taking the peel and twisting it in order to extract like the oils and the mist from that?
So orange, you get orange blossom water. We put it in the perfume bottle. So you get your drink, you're sitting here, right? And then your server or bartender is gonna take the perfume bottle and spray it on top of your drink. So as you're sipping it, you're getting the essence of orange blossom water, and it kind of like sticks in the whole area that you're in.
This is like I'm over in Vegas.
I'm pretty impressed. And
I've seen stuff like this in Vegas.
But you have to remember what he said when he first started talking. He's been bartending 3.5 years, and this is the level of skill and talent and passion that he has for the industry. That entire cocktail program is all his making, everything on it.
Wow.
Good for you. Good for you.
Proud of you,
That's
Karl.
awesome.
Thank you.
We're proud of you.
It's impressive. Very much so.
You guys are gonna make me blush.
Okay, yeah, okay, they're called spirit free on here and not mocktails. Yeah. So, look, a fa mule.
Full mule, fake mule.
Yep. Spiced, not spiked.
Yep. That's the one that gets the orange blossom water spritz.
Oh, look at this one. Phony Negroni. Like a Fugazi, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
No idea.
Yeah. And of course, you buy the glass and then beer. Let's talk about the beer for a bit, because I know you have a special tap system down there.
Yes, the bottoms up draft system.
Okay, what is it?
So I am still learning it at the moment. Like, I just learned how to clean it last week. But it is super easy to use. I'm surprised more places don't do it, to be honest. I feel like if I could figure it out, anyone could. But it's pretty cool. Like, all your kegs are right underneath. There's a magnet with a glass. You just drop the magnet in, it seals it, but it also connects to the bottom. So once you just put the glass in there, it fills from the bottom all the way to the top.
Oh, yes. I saw that on the cruise.
Oh, okay.
And you program it so it
Amazing.
stops perfectly at like 16 ounces. You can set it for like someone just wants to taste.
And how does that affect the head on a beer? Because generally, the head is formed due to the agitation of the beer going into the glass.
So it depends on the type of beer, right? So obviously, like, our pale ale is not going to be as foamy as an IPA.
Right.
But you get almost like the perfect like half inch of foam right on top of the beer. But again, it depends on how you program it, what your gas is set to, all that.
Speaking of gas, no, not going there. Even though you can push
it's a
that
weird
thing
transition right there.
I know Guinness, you need a pull with nitrogen. How's the bottoms up work with something unique like Guinness compared to all the other beers that you can have on tap?
So from my understanding, like beers like Guinness, you could still do through the bottoms up system. We won't. I don't think we're gonna carry Guinness. Maybe something similar, like we have a milk stout on there.
Okay.
But it doesn't give us any issues using it.
All right. Now, is it primarily nitrogen, or do you have CO2 or
CO2?
CO2. Yeah. All right. That's flexible enough. You can do a lot. How many different beers are you planning on having on tap?
So we have 8 total taps. We're gonna have 5 set ones. have an IPA or pale ale, pilsner, and then we're gonna have 3 rotating taps. There's gonna be 2 rotating IPAs. One of them's gonna be like a Massachusetts IPA always. The other one's gonna be just like an American IPA, like something from anywhere in the country. And then we're gonna have 2 rotating seasonals. Like right now we have like a blueberry crumble cider, and then a saison.
I'm not a huge beer drinker. I'm more of spirits and wine, but you know that blueberry thing that piques my interest.
Let me tell you, I don't like ciders. It was so good.
Yeah, I found out during one of the last brew fests. Pete, are you still on the other end of the line here?
He's been roaming around.
It's a sour. I think it's called a sour beer.
Yeah.
There's some type of lactose fermentation going on.
Yeah.
I found out that I like those.
Those are good too. A lot of people don't like those, but they're fun in the summer.
Well, I do my own lactose fermentation at home. I make sauerkraut. I make kimchi. I do the pickling. So I'm into that. Maybe that's why I'm drawn to that type of a beer or a drink. So it sounds like you got a lot going on here, beverage-wise.
Yes.
All right.
And the Tribeca Pale Ale.
That is also really good.
We have our own pale ale.
Oh, you do?
We do.
Yeah. Is it public knowledge who actually makes it?
It is. It is exclusively brewed from our friends at Loophole Brewing. They created this recipe over the past year. And, it's only available at Tribeca.
Oh, wow.
We were able to offer it when we were at the inauguration of the plaza. When the mayor gave his speech, and we were out there vending.
Unfortunately, I was in Vegas then, but I sent somebody down to film it anyway. That opening.
You were how was that trip? Did you win?
Well,
you're still here, so probably not.
You know what? when you walk out of Vegas, it's a good trip.
It's a good trip.
Yeah. I've learned that I have to accept that. Although the P&Ls that they mail out every year. The past 7 years, I will say, I'm only down one of the years. So I'm doing something right.
It's good.
Yeah, I know when to stop. I think that's the important thing. Patrice, you are the executive chef at Tribeca.
Yes, I am.
All right. How long have you been chefing?
Ever since I was like 16, 17 years
So
old.
it's all you've
been in kitchens.
really done, all you've known. Okay. Any type of formal training?
I'm born and raised in France. Went to school there, and then realized that school was not my thing. So,
So when you were
kitchens were.
when you were in France, did you learn French technique with cooking?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Classically trained, that good stuff.
So you spent a year just on sauces then.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I run into someone who's been, classically trained with French technique, it's impressive because, you don't think about it, but that's the basis for a lot of other cuisines too. But not only the ingredients, but the techniques as well.
Yeah, the technique is a good base for everything. And then
Right.
It's just like the experience working with different chefs, different restaurants, different, cuisine, everything. That's how you build sort of like your repertoire.
So what are the different types of cuisines you've been involved with in the past? What types of restaurants?
French, Italian, South American. If you look at the menu, you see a little bit of influence, just about everything.
Yeah, I see a
Very
wide
eclectic.
swath
Yeah.
going on here.
Absolutely.
So basically, before Tribeca, were you fancy, casual?
Oh, right before Tribeca, I was the executive chef at West Springfield Country Club in West Springfield.
Oh, okay. All right. So you actually have the skills then to get down to the single plate, but then also, well, you think quantity, but at the same time quality as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a big change.
Yeah, because I'm sure you had both the regular dining and then the catering and the functions there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
those are two
I'm
different.
actually
Those are
very-
two different mindsets for
I'm
cooking
very happy
altogether.
to be just in the single plate department. Yeah, the volume is great. It teaches you organization, speed, execution, all that good stuff. But it's also not what I want to keep doing.
Right. So the plates that I'm looking at on some of these menus. I would imagine you might have had input or help, or it's been a group effect. But essentially, as the executive chef, okay, let's finalize how we do this. Let's decide what we're going to offer. And I'm just wondering, because the tapas, I don't want to count them. How many items do you have just here on the tapas? Do you know the number?
31.
Okay, 31. All right. So obviously you've come up with the recipe. You've worked it over and over and over. Are you also the one who decides or works on the actual plating and presentation as well?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a teamwork with Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy has had input on the menu as well.
Uh-huh.
But we had to just kind of finalize it. You kind of know which way we were going.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Jimmy, the sous chef, how long have you been chefing?
I would say, I mean, I've been working in restaurants since I was a kid, when I was 14.
You are a kid. Look at you.
I guess so still, yeah.
He was the baby of the team.
Compared to me, you're all kids.
But I started work. My mother, she was a server at the Federal in Agawam.
Oh, all right.
She got me into the restaurant business when I was 14, really early. Just washing dishes, doing prep cook, whatever you do as a 14-year-old in a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
And then, I did that for like 4 years all throughout high school. I ended up moving to California, learning some farming. And then I ended up coming back here probably 2014, and the farming didn't work out. So I was like, I guess I'm just going to be a chef.
Right.
I ended up spending 6 years at Center Square Grill in East Long Meadow.
Oh, you work for Bobby Collins?
Yeah, Bill.
Bill, I'm sorry.
He's
Yeah,
a great dude.
Yeah, I know him from his days with Claudio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great guy. I loved working for them over there. I learned a lot from him, business-wise and
he has high standards.
Very
too.
high standards, yeah.
Yes.
And very, I don't want to say frugal, but like he's pretty on top of you, like financially too. So, but I got a lot of experience there. I was like their lead saute, lead grill.
Uh-huh.
And then I met Tony, came and cooked for them, and they loved what they saw, and they brought me on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we first met, the two of them, and we did it individually, both of them said that if they were to have a restaurant, that this concept would be what they would want to do.
Uh-huh.
And after the initial, when you start something like this, every time you go out to eat, you see something cool, you're like, oh, that's neat. And, you text messaging everybody. It got to a point where we, the partners, said, we brought on these guys. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. Let's let them do their thing. Mm-hmm. So I can tell you that menu was created by these two gentlemen from top to bottom.
Right.
They say it's a team effort. This is the team that did it. And I want to talk about their titles for a second, because some people go, you're just trying too hard to be, upscale with the executive titles. We didn't give them these titles to brag or try to stand out. We gave them those titles because they deserve them. These three guys are industry professionals who are devoted their lives to their skills and honed their talents. And it's clear, you can see it in those menus.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen it a lot more, obviously, than the public has by working with them. But Tribeca's success, if it is there, falls solely on what they've brought to the table for us.
Good.
We couldn't be happier to have you on board.
Right.
Thank you, Tom.
So obviously, you heard me talking about Collins and Claudio.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not in the industry, but I follow the industry. I'm a foodie.
Yep,
I can talk food. I get involved with the culinary department over here, if Tony knows.
Sure.
So one of my things is I actually collect menus, and I'll just I'll sit down and just I'll look at a menu from 20 years ago and go, oh wow, maybe I'll try to make this, or geez, look at the price of that, or whatever. But I always, and when I travel a lot, when you're in the hotel room, there's always a few menus down in the lobby, and I'll read them for hours, and now and then it takes that long for me to decide where to go and then what to have. So we're going to talk about the food now, and we're going to devote time to it.
Let's talk food.
Because that's one of my favorite topics here on this
It
program.
certainly is.
You interview a lot of chefs too, don't you?
Oh yeah, I've
We do.
I have Slattery in here. I have Cordis in here. I've had Nadim. So
Nadim.
yeah,
Great guy.
I have some of the heavy hitters come in here and we just talk food.
Notice how I just turned the tables? Now I'm interviewing you.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you never get the broadcasting out of your system.
Never.
You just can't resist.
Never
can you,
goes
Tony?
away.
No,
No, it doesn't. It's like the teacher in me. It never stops. So if I start pointing my fingers at you,
yeah, she gives me the finger all the time.
Point at me first.
Yeah.
I was scared.
She looks right at you, Karl.
raise your hand.
What was it, 90 years you were teaching?
That's not nice.
He's so painful.
That's not nice. Why do
It
you
was
put up with
only
that, Captain?
85. Listen, Sonny.
You don't look a day over 45.
No, I tell people now that I'm 90. And then when you tell them that, they look at you and go, oh, my God, you look good for 90. Works.
What if they say you don't?
Well, I was in one of the shows I was in. This is a surprise. I was playing a crabby old lady. Don't you go there. So I went home and I'm trying to take off my makeup. And I'm trying to take off the age lines. Then it dawned on me, oh, shoot, I can't take those age lines off. Those are really mine. Food. Let's talk food. Look at this menu is amazing. I love charcuterie. I love it.
Can we also give some credit to our editor and chef here, who not only did he create the recipes with Patrice, but he actually created those menus. Jimmy did.
All right.
So the backdrop
job.
with the picture of the building and the font and that's a small version, obviously.
I was gonna say
The actual menu size.
With
is
my
a little bit
with
by
my
17.
progressive,
it's a big-
It's like it's about this big.
Oh,
so
perfect.
pretty
Honestly,
nice and big
I
writing.
do have to say that I'm chair of the Historical Commission in Westfield, and I'm really proud of the job you did bringing that building back. It's gorgeous. I'm thrilled with the writing on the side.
On the windows.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just lovely, and we thank you for bringing a building back that probably
even the windows that were
demolished.
gone for 100 years.
Well,
The ones that were bricked in. You know, I'm fortunate enough that I get to be the public face of this project, and I get the accolades. It's not just me. There's an entire
beautiful.
team that did this, including, and again, I'm gonna look for the past 6 months. These guys have been painting walls and hammering nails and polishing floors and being contractors, doing things that they absolutely had no intention of ever doing in their lives.
it's beautiful.
That's nice because I know they left whatever they were doing to be with you, and you thought you were gonna open half a year ago.
Based upon commitments made by our general contractor, we assumed we were going to be open a long time ago.
The fact that you looked out for them once they came on, that speaks accolades.
It's lovely, and we're also Westfield's in the process. I think we met you on our tour of trying to establish a cultural district downtown with the state of Massachusetts. So it's great to see that building looking like it does right in the center of the downtown district. It's just such an asset to our community in general. And
With
we
the
thank you.
delays, with all the hassles and expense that we've gone through over the past 18 months, we are still 100% convinced that this is the absolute right community and the absolutely right building. And we're very, very fortunate. We think this is just the beginning of, downtown Westfield's revitalization, and there's going to be more foot traffic, and there's going to be more events and artworks, doing all the events like the concerts and Oktoberfest and the businesses over on School Street. There's a lot going on in downtown Westfield.
And it should be, I would hope that it's a great partnership between your business and the things going on in the new park across the street. So
We want to be part of the community in any way that we can, in any way that we can help bring down more people into the area and help the other restaurants and help our restaurant and the other bars, and hopefully some new places will open up again and or open up in the future. And what was the saying you said? You're right.
High tides float all ships.
There you go.
Say that again.
High tides float all ships.
That's the first time I've heard that one.
That might be
It's
a
a good
Karl
one.
original.
That's a
From a bartender.
All right.
We should put that on the wall. Actually, I want that. I want that in artwork. We're still looking for some artwork, by the way. For any local artists out there, we'd love to display some of your artwork. Give us a call.
Now, when you say display artwork, are you just looking for something to throw up on the wall, or can there be a price tag on it?
No, we don't. We're never just throwing anything up on the wall. We want art that fits our atmosphere and our design and concept. But we'll absolutely display local artists' work and allow them to sell it. We'd love to be able to rotate out, local art on an ongoing basis. So, anybody looking to display some artwork?
There are a lot of artists around here.
Yeah, I know. We've tried reaching out, and it's been the one point that we haven't. We still haven't solved that, and we're close to opening.
I think once you're open and people see what it's like on the inside, that may, entice.
We're really interested in historical Westfield type art.
Okay, yeah, I remember
photography
those posts.
Stuff like old photos of the Elm Street corridor and photos of the building, and we've got a lot of them, but we just don't have them displayable. So, give us a call, artists.
All right.
Let's talk about king scallop mushrooms.
No, I want to talk about something else right now.
Okay.
First. We can do foie gras in Massachusetts now.
Yes, we can.
When did that change?
It actually never changed.
Oh, really? I always thought it was banned in this state.
Why?
Foie gras is banned?
Yeah,
Even
because of the
serious?
cruelty to the animals.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Maybe I better shut up because that'll be the next thing on top of the pork and the pork and the milk that we're.
Way to get us canceled, Ken.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the next week you'll open.
Yeah, I didn't think that one through because when I'm out on the West Coast,
All
I
right,
get it all the
tell
time.
me what it is.
It's duck liver.
It's what?
Duck liver.
Why is that cruel?
I'm not going to get into it. And if it's in Massachusetts, it's probably raised a different way, and we won't talk about
It's
it.
delicious.
It's like butter. It just melts in your mouth. It's so tender and tasty and awesome.
Now, if you didn't know what it was, you probably would
I
have been
don't
more apt
mind
to
liver.
try it.
I like
Yeah.
liver.
Oh yeah,
It's like escargot. The first time I ever had escargot, I didn't know it was a snail. I was just a young boy, and my mother's like, "Do you want to try escargot?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Okay.
And I ate it, and she goes, "It's a snail." And I said, "Well, it's delicious." And
Yeah, it's a
now
delicious.
I love
snail.
escargot.
Yeah. Well, Kathy and I will sit down and have a liverware sandwich any day of the week.
Yeah.
So
I ate rattlesnake, alligator. I'm okay.
I've had alligator.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Popular
Tastes
down
like
in
chicken.
Florida.
No, it didn't taste like chicken. It tastes like alligator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're getting your chicken from,
Yeah.
Kathy. But you might want to not go there anymore.
It was just a comment. I had rattlesnake in Arizona.
That would be a challenge. I had kangaroo once at
Ooh, never had that. Oh, maybe.
at a German restaurant. I don't know
Ooh,
where.
I wouldn't mind trying
Which one
that.
it was.
Interesting.
That was out of my.
Yeah, I've done elk,
That was not in my.
bear. I've done
Yeah.
wild boar. A wild boar is really good. Oh my.
I don't think I've done boar.
I also enjoy ramen noodles.
That's
I don't know. I was just trying to
In the '80s, we lived and survived.
trying to
off
make
of
sure there's no dead air here. Come
no
on.
dead air. You're right. You got to keep talking. He will do that to me. He'll all of a sudden he'll just stop talking.
And I'll
and
stare.
Look at me.
Yeah. When we were up the other studio, we used to have contests. We'd have a dead air contest, and I just stop, and I do that and wait for someone to crack.
Do you have a favorite item on the menu that you?
Oh, good question, Kathy. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sure
I wanna hear
I'm
what-
sure all three
Favorite
have a different
drink,
one.
Favorite item.
So let's
favorite
start
drink.
with Karl.
A drink favorite?
Favorite drink. Yeah. If you were coming, what would you order?
Honestly, I usually don't pick favorite drinks on the menu, but I would probably say the concierge concoction, the fancy rum and coke. Out of all the drinks that I've tried from that menu, that was the first one I was like, well, they're all really good, but that one's like, whoa, like that one really hit.
The price seems reasonable for something like that too.
So we were very price conscious when setting both of these menus, understanding that we are as much as we believe Westfield has a desire for something upscale like this, we still have a price point that we have to be cognizant of. And I look at that menu and I go, geez, that's when it came out, I was like, wow, that's less than I thought it was going to be.
So on top of the drink, your favorite food item. I know you've been back there sampling and testing these things.
Put you
Oh,
right
he has
on the
to think.
That's
right
a
on
good
the
one.
spot.
I gotta think about this one.
These questions are coming up for the both of you too.
That's a good
That's
one.
fine.
Yeah.
My favorite. Honestly, I think I'd probably have to say the picanha steak.
All right, and that's
Yeah,
It's
because
towards
You
the
went with
bottom
what I
on the
went with.
right-hand side.
yeah, that I'd have to say that one because you don't see picanha
Okay.
a lot.
grilled picanha steak. Now I haven't come across picanha.
Hey, it's delicious. Let me tell you.
All right. So is that a
Something you haven't
seasoning? Is that a
had.
seasoning or a cut?
So it's a cut. It's a steak cut from the culottes, basically muscle. And picanha is Brazilian. You'll find
Oh,
picanha
okay.
a lot in, like Brazilian steakhouse and everything. So it's got like a nice amount of fat up top.
And what part of the animal?
That would be the culottes. It's above the rib on the shoulder side.
Oh, okay. All right. So it works a little bit, but
It's very fibrous,
yeah.
kind of like flank would be, or steak, or sort of like that. So
Yeah.
it does have like a decent amount of marbling, but that fat is what kind of makes it.
Yeah.
As it either
And-
sears, grills, it just melts into. the
and that particular, I'm familiar with the working muscles. I'm sure the way you do the cook on that, and then you go across the grain, that just you could probably go through it with a butter knife and just.
Oh, you're going to have to try that. No.
She was a steak lady. Yeah. So
That was the last addition to the menu.
yeah.
too.
Does that take on a braise or do you?
No, either seared or grilled.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And where did I find that here? All right. So preserved lemon. Oh, preserved lemon. You have me right there. I make my own. I know what those are. Preserved lemon chimichurri. Port wine demi-glace and truffle butter.
Can't go wrong with truffle butter.
That 8-ounce steak is gonna come sliced and served.
So
with
that's an
3
8
sauces.
ounce.
Yes.
An 8-ounce piece for a tapas.
Yes.
Baked rabbit meatball. That looks amazing.
Wow.
Not bad.
You're skipping ahead here. Oh my. Garam masala spiced lamb lollipop. Okay.
Just the names are fun.
Yeah.
Just the names exciting.
But before I start calling off a lot of these, I want to get on to Patrice. Your favorite drink and plate off the menu?
My favorite drink would definitely be the rum and coke.
Oh,
Then again, I don't know.
the same one that Karl's.
The
talking
perfect
about.
pear is good too. The one you made yesterday.
Perfect
Pillow Talk?
pair, huh?
No, pillow talk. That was good.
Oh, I gotta try this one because the first ingredient listed,
What is it?
Tito's. Right, Tony?
I'm a simple man. Give me Tito's and an ice cube, and I'm a happy guy.
Yeah, Tito's spiced pear liqueur, honey, lemon, and here's an ingredient I am not familiar with.
Oh, that's the one.
Clarified milk punch. What is clarified milk punch?
So clarified milk punch is not an ingredient. It's just a technique to make the drink. So the easiest way to explain it is this. So you take the full drink, right? So let's say the full batch drink, and you add whole milk to it. So the whole milk, what happens is once the fat and the milk hits the acid in the citrus, it curdles and it removes all the impurities. And then you have to fine strain it out, and you're left with this clear, silky mouthfeel cocktail. But all the flavors are enhanced because all the impurities are out.
You have to do that at temperature because that almost sounds like a process for making ricotta or yogurt.
Yeah,
where you,
similar,
you
yeah.
bring it up, in this case, it would bring it up to initially 180, but then down to 120, and then you get the separation of the whey and the curds.
So what I do is I heat up the milk first, and I let it sit.
See, I knew there was some
And
heating there.
I pour the batch cocktail into the milk. Then I let it sit for 2 hours, let it separate, and then I strain it through a milk bag.
Right.
So then you almost crystal clear, silky mouthfeel cocktail.
I think I know which one I'll be trying.
One of each.
That one is really good.
One of each.
You know what?
Always the best one.
I can walk home from where you're located.
I'll give you a ride.
No need. It's literally a 5-minute walk. Although a stumble or two could take place. All right. So you mentioned the drink and the steak, right? Yes, you did. So on to Jimmy. It's not a hardball now.
Oh no. I love the rum and coke.
Okay. Again,
Coca-Cola foam sets it like beyond the edge.
Is that the only thing you do with the foam?
I can make a foam out of anything, but
Now, are you using an OSO with a nitrogen charge to do that? Okay. All right. Any other gastro technology going on there? You play around with what's the it's a flour that you use to make little pearls.
No, guar gum.
Yeah,
agar.
Yeah, do you get involved with any of that
It's still
gastronomy
funny. So
stuff?
when I was like kind of looking, like thinking ahead, I was thinking about making like my own little pearls as a garnish for a drink.
Right.
I needed agar for that, so it's funny you mentioned that. I was just thinking about that last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now I'm thinking of Wiley Dufresne in New York. He has that restaurant WD-40, and he gets really involved with that gastronomy stuff. And I think it's cool. I know when you sit down and you watch something like that.
Yeah, we do a lot of stuff that's similar to that. Like all our cordials and syrup, even like some liqueurs we'll make in house, and we use the vacuum seal. We sous vide it for a whole day to really cook it down at one temperature, extract all the flavors.
I get that and I appreciate that because I actually at home have an immersion circulator.
I have two.
I mean, once you learn how to use one, and you learn this thing called the reverse sear. I mean, there's some cuts of protein out there I won't cook any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to sous vide a chicken breast, just a boneless, skinless chicken breast, you could end up with the most juiciest piece of chicken you've ever had, and it was cooking for 10 hours.
Wow.
I mean, I love that technique.
Yeah.
All right. So you have some sous vide going on in the kitchen then, huh?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah, the kitchen is pretty small. I mean, doing that molecular gastronomy will probably come with time. I think right now we're going to just try to execute this menu properly, and then we'll just build on that.
Yeah. Speaking of the menu, we didn't get to your favorite plate you thought I'd forget.
No.
Right.
To be honest, I wouldn't. I really like the meatloafs. I'm not a meatloaf guy, but Patrice here has turned me on to meatloafs.
Okay, so there's meatloaf here.
Oh yeah.
All right. I didn't go through the full
Tribeca
menu.
mini meatloafs. They should be at the bottom.
Trib-
It comes with this phenomenal bacon jam, and it's amazing. And I would never ever go out to eat.
Oh,
and
you've
order a
got
meatloaf. Now I
hush
will.
puppies.
Hush puppies.
Yeah.
I'm
Now I'm
surprised you
bouncing
didn't say
around
the
the-
braised rib.
Oh, that's amazing as well. But you got to give the meatloafs a try.
Well, it's kind of hard to just for us to pick something up.
Yeah.
and
Sure.
just
Yeah.
try.
It's
Here
all
it is.
great. It's all amazing.
It's in the middle, Jimmy. Tribeca mini meatloaves. Right? Is that the one?
Yes.
Jalapeno, ranch, smoked cheddar, bacon jam.
Anything with bacon.
That's gourmet comfort food right there.
And something that keeps jumping out at me when I go up and down this menu. I've got about 7 minutes left. Pulled pork beignets.
So
it's a pulled pork stuffed donut, basically.
essentially, the pulled pork would be mixed with the batter, deep fried.
So this is a play on almost like the steamed bun with Asian cuisine, where we have the bread stuffed with a meat.
Yeah, sort of.
Wow.
Sort of.
Oh, it's funny. I mentioned Asian here because I see the accompaniment with that is spicy banana ketchup. Banana ketchup being a very popular thing in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
You got things all over the world here, man.
Pretty much.
That's the plan.
That's the whole plan, not to be stuck in just one dimension, you know.
All right. Keeping with, ooh, there's a lot of pork on here, Kathy. Look at this.
It's good. I like pork.
Sticky pork belly burnt ends.
Just sounds delicious.
You're not smoking there too,
It
are
all
you?
sounds delicious to
No,
me.
those would be basically roasted.
Okay, yeah.
We'll get to the smoking at some point too.
I love pork belly. My God,
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I just picked up a chest smoker about a month ago. Now over at my house, and I love having it. I've been using the barbecue, to smoke, and it's like night and day, having the proper appliance in order to do it. There's more pork on here that jumped out at me. Pulled pork cannoli. Again, there's some Asian in there. Pulled pork is a southern thing. It's Carolina, but with Korean gochugaru barbecue sauce. Now, gochugaru is the main red pepper that's used in Korean kimchi.
Yeah.
And there's some heat. Surprised it's that come out of my mouth, huh?
I was like,
There's a heat to it, but there's also a slight sweetness, and it's not one of those peppers that get your nose running and your eyes watering.
Correct. There's gonna be a little heat to the barbecue sauce, but I mean, like every barbecue sauce got always like a little either pepper or some sort that just give that a little.
Yeah, it's either going to be a pepper or vinegar in order to get your little thing right here. Geez, I just love hearing from you guys. House-made duck 3 ways. All right. What do you have here? I can't read it.
Duck
It's too
Briette,
small.
duck
Okay.
prosciutto, and duck confit.
Duck prosciutto. You got to be kidding me.
We're making our own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're drying it, or
It's aging right now in the walking as we speak.
there's just, as you said, there's 31 items on here just for tapas, and then you have the charcuteries. How do you serve those?
On custom-made charcuterie boards from our friends
Oh,
at Mill River
charcuterie
Slabworks.
board. How surprising, Tony.
I have to throw in a little plug for Mill River.
Mill River is they're the folks who made your bar top, right?
They made our bar top, our mahogany shelves behind the bar, and also all of our charcuterie boards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Those guys are great.
So how are the charcuterie boards served? Are they for individuals, or do you have to have 2 or 3 people?
I mean, I could have a whole charcuterie board myself.
Oh, I could too. Without a
that's
doubt.
fine.
Yeah,
It's not going to stop
yeah.
me.
I love cheese and sausages.
It's a very shareable thing.
Mhm.
So order a big board, and everybody just kind of talks. It opens up the conversation as people just like pick and choose whether meats or cheeses they like and prefer, whatever.
Yeah, and you got it all here. You got prosciutto, sopressata, calabrese salame, rosa salame. The cheeses on here, and I'm noticing somewhat local cheeses, Vermont and Connecticut cheeses.
Correct.
Oh, wow. And the add-ons. I'm just EVOO roasted garlic bulb. Like the whole, not
The
just
whole
the...
the whole bulb.
And you squeeze it out and just like spread it on the bread.
Excellent price point for that. Bacon jam is an add-on you can get for those, Kathy.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Homemade peach marmalade. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, we just made it last week.
Mm-hmm. That's intense. Mixed olive tapenade. Again, that's a brine thing, and anything brined I can really get into. Honeycomb. All right. Are we talking raw honey?
Slab, so there'll be like
Yes.
a little cube of
Mhm.
the honeycomb, and same thing. It's like you spread it on your bread, or
Wow. 2 pages, condensed form here. Obviously, you said when you get to the restaurant,
It's much
11 by
it's gonna be much
17.
bigger, and you're not going to be straining like I was to read anything.
We've had a couple of people bring that up on our social media platforms, and we just want everybody to know
Take your thumb and your finger and expand it.
the menus are bigger in person than they are on your cell phone screen. We promise you, you will be able to. I'm 54 years old. I have bad eyesight. It's a big deal for me, too. I dislike going to a restaurant where I can't see the menu. You'll be able to see the menu.
Baked rabbit meatballs.
I know, that sounds good.
Yeah, it does. All right. Well, Karl, Patrice, Jimmy, Tony, I want to thank you for coming in and spending an hour with us so we could learn more about what is happening down on Elm Street.
Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you.
Really
All right.
appreciate it.
When can the public actually first show up again?
First day open to the public will be August 21st. No reservations until August 30th, the night of our grand opening.
Excellent.
know.
Next week, you're not here, but I will have Jay in the studio for the first hour, and then you will be here, even though you won't be here, because we are pre-taping on Thursday.
Oh, that's right. I
We're
have to go
going to
back
do
there.
a full hour on the Atwood Mansion.
Yes, Atwater.
Atwater Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be interesting. Father
Father Dan.
Dan
who
will
lives
be
in
here,
Sacrament, or lives
who
in
spent a
Sacrament.
lot of time in that house. He knows
He
everything
has.
about it. So looking forward to that. And then 2 weeks from now, we have Making the List, which you will miss out on, but we will think about you.
I will miss out on.
All right, boys, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it.
Thank you for
Appreciate
coming,
it.
gentlemen.
Thank you.